Now, being a parent is the greatest gift a human being can receive from God. But at the same time, we have to acknowledge that it is the greatest responsibility bestowed to a person. Most people fear the responsibility and the immediate change in their life. Dr. Catherine Stiengo, Mutisya, and Winnie Kitetu, both from Nairobi Parenting Clinic, are here with us this morning to tell us more about the parenting training program and other common issues regarding parenting. Good to see you after a long while.
Thank you.
Right? You know, they normally say that the road to parenting is paved with so many challenges, you know, and good intentions. Would you kindly maybe, Dr. start us off by telling us these good intentions that we normally think as a parent? Yes, I'm doing this for my child.
Yes, you're right. As parents, even when we work too hard, to the extent that we have no time to spend with the children, we feel that we are working too hard to provide for the children. Again, when we push our children to tuition and extra, you have to perform, you have to get A's, we are doing it because we feel we want the best for our children. So most of the times the parents are doing it for the best interest of the child, but it's also good to stop and think, am I doing the right thing? Do I need to improve? Yes, and that's why we are here this morning. Yes.
Right, Dr. Do you really share the same sentiment?
Yeah, actually when we start with parenting, now what happens is every parent comes out and wants to bring out their children in the best way possible. Sometimes they copy from outside. So they bring them up with a lot of anxieties. Will mine grow up to be like so and so? Will mine shape up to be like so and so? So in the process, we may make it up to be good parenting. Sometimes we mess up in the process of parenting. Yeah.
So we mess up, and we've seen a lot of parents actually messing up. And I want us to talk about the resolve that you can make as a parent early enough, you know, that we can actually navigate these choppy waters of parenting. And that the first one up is spending time with your children. You know, many people think that, of course, that if I scoop up maybe a weekend trying to make strawberry pancakes with my children, that one will really make up for the entire week that I have not been with them. Do you really hold with that view?
Not really. Every parent needs to create time every day. And say from this time to this time I will have to actually play with my children, do fun activities with my children. It's not that you stay for a whole week and you feel that you hope to compensate over the weekend. So it's very important every day you say at least from this time I reach home, I switch off the TV, talk to my children, get involved in what they are doing and get to understand them. Don't pile it up and say I will take leave and compensate. Yes.
That is one of the resolves that maybe as parents we need to do. But I want us also to talk more about also creating memories, you know, lasting memories with your children. How can you make that a resolve for you as a parent? You know, they normally say there are like 3 R's that maybe first will be you should have routine, you should have activities. The second is you should create a ritual that you normally go to every other time, maybe yearly, and also have the ridiculous. You know, you don't have to be very stiff as a parent. Can you kindly just walk us through that?
Okay, I agree with Dr. Catherine. Actually, as a parent, you should start early. You're not going to start all of a sudden. So when children are early, program your time. Know that you are a parent now. Create time for play. When you come from the office, you have at least 10 minutes to play with your children, with your child, so that you can bond. The child will remember you and be looking forward for daddy is coming so that you can play. Also, create time for play. Doesn't have to be playing on the ground or running. It can be even when you are cooking as a mother, make it a play. Come, we cut tomatoes, and me cut the onions, and you cut the meat. That is also play. When you are eating, make it also a play. So the child will be looking forward to, oh, you are giving your child, that is a play, and also the child gives you. Instead of taking the baby and telling the maid, go out and feed the baby when the baby is not seeing us. Make it a play there. So those memorable, the child will be looking forward for the parent to come, to be with us, so that we can eat together because it's always fun. Now that is the basic. Now the others, when the children have grown up, you can maybe go for holidays, be together, you go for swimming, compete in some areas, and they see a daddy who is coming down to be like us.
Now that is a ritual.
Yes, that is a ritual. Yeah, yeah. Then there are others where memorables, where they can see a daddy who can, even in games like if the companies which normally have some fans, the daddy is pulling tug of war. You know, they, oh, you mean daddy can also do it, so strong. So some of those things are very memorable to children. And they see the father who is down, not that father who is a police person, who is so strict, a mother who is so just a parent. We should always be down there, trying to have our children know us better and interact with them better. Yeah.
There's the important aspect of also developing the giftings of your children. That,
exactly.
Yes, and I think also is one of the resolves that parents they need to make early enough, because there's a verse in the Bible that normally says, I think it's Proverbs 22 verse 6. It says that train up a child in a way that he should go, that when he grows up, he will not stray from those ways. And a lot of preachers, I think I've heard them really saying this. They put this issue on the matter of spirituality and morality, which really flies in the face of what really that verse means, because originally it means train up your child in the giftings and the talents that they have, that when they grow up they will not stray away from that. Do you really fly with that argument, Dr.
Yes, training actually involves even making these children be responsible. It is very important also to make sure children's self-esteem is built, and it's also very important to make sure that your children discover their talents. And how do you do that? You have to expose them to as many activities as possible. If it's swimming, if it's golf, if it's tennis, if it's football, expose them. If it's instruments, guitar, piano, expose them. That's the only time you will discover. Otherwise, if it's just business, schoolwork, homework, you might never discover the hidden talents. Yes.
So how do you get to discover the hidden talents, as you're saying? Because normally parents, we are so bent on telling our children, you know, education, maths, English, and sciences, these are the way to go if you really want to become someone in this society. But we can see the society is actually tearing away from, you know, the traditional and the conventional way of the frame of our thinking about education. We can see people now in sports making billions of money, aside from the conventional careers that we're having. How do we get to discover the talents and the giftings of our children?
Okay, first, you see, when you quote like that quote in the Bible, train up your child. It means, if I give you a cup of water, say thank you. So you are training that child to become a great, you know, somebody who can appreciate life and appreciate people and the society. Okay, say thank you. Okay, say I'm sorry if you have been offended. Okay, say please, those words. So now when you grow up and you come out, now you are training this child to be somebody to mold the person and even the personality, that in this world we should actually say please. So when I go to the supermarket, I should say please, may I pick this? So you don't just bang on people and make your way by force. So you always know I should wait for my turn. So you are training this person to come out to be the best person in the society. So this one now, it like helps you, you know, to be that whole person. Because when you go to church, remember parents are the first agent of socialization, and they are modeling you. If you're training me by fighting in front of us, I'll copy that. If you're training me by praying before we eat, the child will copy that. If you're training by appreciating visitors, if you're training me by telling the child, remove shoes before you enter the house, the child will copy that. And the children copy what we train them. That's why now parenting is not just about just school, leaving the child or feeding the child, buying the clothes. There's more to it. And that's why we are there as Nairobi Parenting Clinic to teach these skills to the parents and teachers.
So then how do you nurture those talents? Of course, you've really talked about the vices, good vices that maybe a child, you know, should have, and how we should inculcate them to our children. But we're training our focus now on talents. We want to know the talents of our children. Should we ask questions? Yeah, like what gives joy to our children? Should we have maybe some questions, a checklist of questions that we can tick off and say, this may be their good pointers to the giftings and the talents of our children, Dr.
Actually, when you spend time with your children, and we are advocating that, you know, love can be spelled as time, as in the amount of time you spend with the person will tell how much love you have for them. So if you spend time with your children, you interact with them, you talk with them, you play with them, you will discover their interest. You will see what they are interested in. Again, expose them. Go swimming with them. Go for different sports with them. Go enroll for instruments. Probably they will have been exposed in school. So you just need to also get in touch with the teachers, find out from the teachers what they are seeing in school. Some teachers will tell you, I think your child is talented in football. She's so good in this one. He's so good in this one. So when you have that, then you nurture it. Of course, if it's something being offered in school, you'll have to create time and do it even over the weekend and over the holidays. And that's why we are saying children need time to actually explore the world. They need time when it's holiday. Let them rest. Let them do fun activities. Let them do physical activities. Because some of these things you have to nurture. If you just have an adult who all they do is work, in quotes, and no time for play, they also need to develop hobbies. So the only way you can tell is expose them to various activities. Be interested in them. If they are in a match, go there and cheer. Reward them for milestones. Encourage them by praising them. You know, the African society, most people might find it very hard to praise children. Yet it's very important to praise children. When a child does something good, you praise them, they learn that that is a good thing, and they will continue doing it. Yes.
What can also your child's hero give you an inkling of your child's giftings and talents? Winnie.
Yep. Come again.
Can your child's hero, you know, the people they look up to, give you maybe an idea of what some of the giftings or talents that the child has?
Yeah, it's the child, you know, we learn when the child is growing. It's about learning, and learning is imitating. So the child will be like, if it's a media, they know who is the star, so they can copy that. And that's why we say it's true. We should expose our children the way that Dr. Catherine is saying, but then we should know where to expose them. So we should be able to be in control. Am I going to take them to a bar, to a music where there is dancing? Am I going to take them to church? Am I going to take them to where there is a, you know, anywhere where there is to a birthday? Am I going to take them to, you know, where I take them? I should choose. So because the child is going to model, is going to imitate, is going to, you know, imitate a hero. Is going to copy from this person and want to be like that. Also, again, through also being with your child every day and knowing what really do they want. Because when you create time for your child, definitely you get to know what is the interest of this child of mine.
Right, Doctor, let's talk now about the program that now you have. Kindly walk us through the program. Whom do you really target? Are they of course they're the parents, but we have children who maybe they have grandparents as well.
Yeah, generally we are targeting parents of children and adolescents, but again we also assess the children. If you feel that your child has some problems, you can bring them for assessment. We are also working with schools where we meet parents in an organized group. So we have individual coaching at the office, and we also have class sessions at the office, and we also have the school program. Like on the Saturday of 25th of August, we'll be at Osho Academy, Junior High School, where we will be meeting the parents. We are expecting up to the parents of kindergarten. We are expecting a huge group, and we've done that before, and this is an ongoing program. We have other schools we've scheduled for next term from September, and this program has been scientifically been shown to be helpful, to help. Because these are strategies and skills which have been seen to be working, which have been tested. And again, we don't just give notes or just give lectures. We have vignettes of parents who are interacting with their children. So we'll show you this is how to deal with a tantrum. And we'll show you a child throwing a tantrum. We'll show you a parent who is reacting to the tantrum, distracting the child. We'll show you another parent who is giving in to the tantrum, and then we discuss. So it's like you're seeing another parent doing it, and so you learn from it.
Right. Yes. So also the program I'm given to understand is a series of, is it 12?
Yeah, 12
programs
sessions.
12 sessions that you have, yes.
Yeah, because also we also show you how you can play with your children, how you can praise your child, how you can reward, how you can give timeout, that you don't have to use a cane to cane your child. How do you do the timeout? Setting limits and withdrawing the privileges. Should the child seem to be if you want to discipline your child. So it's a very nice program for both teachers, for the house helps, for the grandmothers, and for the parents. So here you model through the vignettes, and they see other parents how they were able to solve these problems. Because like here in Kenya today, most parents are saying, how do I deal with a child who is having tantrums? That's a big problem. So the same program also teaches you how to help a child build self-esteem, self-confidence, problem-solving skills. So it is quite comprehensive.
So the program tries to tell us that, or it really flies in the face of what you normally believe, that parenting is an innate ability. Is it an acquired skill, or is it an innate ability?
Parenting is not innate. You have to learn it.
You have to learn it.
And you have to consciously do it.
I thought when I have a child, instinctively, my maternal instincts, they just pop up.
Not really. When you get a child, you will most likely practice what you've seen being done from your parents, from your older siblings, from the neighbors. So you will be practicing what you have seen. Learning, you can learn through modeling without actually knowing. When you watch TV, you learn from the people on the TV without necessarily knowing that you're learning. So every new parent, they've seen their parents parent, they've seen other people parent, so they tend to copy that. But it might not be necessarily the right thing. So that's why we are saying it is good to be conscious and say, am I actually doing my best? If we are doing it for other things, if we are doing it at work, we are strategizing and saying, am I doing the right thing at work? Am I in the right focus with my career? So we should also do it for our own children and say, wait a minute, am I doing the right things? Because it's not necessarily, we know that wounds can be carried. Just because you are wounded by your parents, then you carry the same wounds to your children. And you'll never actually know that you're actually wounded. So that's why we tell parents, let's discuss. Let's see, are we doing the right thing? Because probably in the African setup, children were there to be seen and not be heard. So it was unlikely for our parents to sit with the children and discuss, this is what we want to do, what do you think? We have problems with waking up and preparing for school, what do you think we should do? Come up with solutions, come up with routines. This never used to happen. So we can't just assume that we know how to parent. It is good to actually know, am I doing the right thing? If we're actually doing the right things, then we'll not be seeing what we are seeing today. We'll not be seeing children becoming disobedient, children burning schools, children committing suicide because they are depressed. We'll not be seeing that. And as the society changes, we are changing, we are evolving. Every generation comes with its own challenges and with its own discoveries. So we can't just sit there and say, we will continue doing things the way we used to do. These children are watching TV, they are on internet, they are seeing different things. So we need to wake up and actually say, are we also moving? Are we also changing to fit in with the changes the children are going through? Yes.
Interesting. Because nowadays we have people who are taking care of our kids, the maids at home, and most of the time they're staying with the children. And it is because of the rigors of life that we are in right now that we cannot afford to be at home all the time, and raise our children. Then how does that really affect also parenthood?
Yes, we are too busy. We have no time for parenting, and we assume that so long as you have a house help, things are going to be all right. Now, as you grow on, and the children grow on, and then you don't create time for these children, for play, to holiday with them, for anything, you just come and you're tired. What happens to this child? And maybe the house help is not trained, or maybe she comes from a different background, different personalities. She may transfer them to this child of yours. The child might pick it up. From there, the child will pick it up, will pick up the neighbors, children, how they are trained. From there, they will learn from the media. From there, now you take them to school. They start learning from other children from school. And who do they become? Totally different people. So they start seeing you, a parent, as a stranger. Even if you try to tell them, I'm your daddy, your mom, no. This child can just wake up one day and just stab you because you did not bond. There is no relationship between you and them. So there was no parenting. You let them be parented by other people, by the world.
Right. As we're winding up, we're still on our resolve, and there's the issue of accepting results. That my daughter or my boy will not be the musician that I was, but I'll accept that he is the athlete that I never was. But we see also in terms of parenting, many people struggle with this. You really want to, you're hell-bent on making your children to be the teacher that you are, or the nurse that you are. Is this something that we're still struggling with as a society?
Yes, we are seeing a lot of that. And we should realize as parents that your children cannot live your goals. We are seeing parents who wanted to be doctors, wanted to be engineers, and they didn't make it, and they are pushing their own children to do that without necessarily asking this child, what are your interests, what are your strengths. So it's very important to support your child, discuss with them, find out from the teachers, find out from the interactions with them, what are their interests. Accept that, accept what they are happy to do, because it's not about you as a parent, it's about the child. So parents are having problems with that. We are having parents who are really pushing their children, and not all children are academic. Some children have talents, and we know very well that people are making a lot of money in athletics, people are making a lot of money in music, people are making a lot of money in all aspects of life. So it's very important that you don't push your children to do what you want or to become like you. Like for me, forcing my children to become doctors, they should become what they really want to be. Yes.
So even if you're shocked with what they want to be,
you see, you should not be shocked
because tell you, hey, and you're like, really? Is this what you've actually chosen for yourself?
Yeah. So long as they're not doing something
because maybe
illegal.
In your mind you had all those, the mainstream careers, but they come with something just totally different, and you wonder how you're going to really eke out a living out of this.
Yeah, and that's why even when you're choosing careers, that even the parents need, they are called, in some schools they are called to have career counseling, such that they also understand that yes, we are choosing careers, but it's not about you as a parent, it's about the child. So when the parent is counseled and they know that we are choosing career for my children, not for me, then it doesn't come as a shock, because it can only be a shock if you're expecting them to do what you want to do. Yes, so parents need a lot of counseling, and we do that also, that prepare them that when it comes to your children, it's not about you. You have lived your life, you're living your life. If they choose to do what you like or what you're doing, fine and good. But it's not necessarily that they'll take that line. Yes.
So if I want to be enrolled in the program as a parent, so how do I go about it? Do you have it online? Do you have DVDs or maybe CDs that you've come up with that can give me some tutorial?
Yeah, we have a website, we have blogs, we have an office. She's a psychiatrist, I'm a clinical psychologist.
Yes.
So when you come to the office,
What is the website, first of all?
It's www.nairobiparentingclinic.co.ke.
All right.
And we also have a blog spot by the same name.
Yeah. So you can visit us there.
.co.ke.
Yes, yeah.
And if maybe they have queries, you have emails or?
We have emails and also an office line, 020
right,
236 56 38.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So, as your parting shots, Winnie.
Yes, I'm saying she's a psychiatrist, I'm a clinical psychologist. In our experience, we are seeing many youths who are coming to us with the drug and substance abuse, with a lot of conduct disorders, problem issues from the parents, simply because of poor parenting. We want to urge the parents to try and come and learn the new skills which they can bring up the children in the right way. Yeah. Another
niggling worry as we're running up is also children, raising children. We know early pregnancies. So is there something that also you have a slot for these children in your program?
Yes, actually when we train the parents to interact with their children and do the right things, that involves talking to them about sexual issues early enough to prevent things like unwanted pregnancies, things like drugs.
And now we have the pregnancies.
We have the pregnancies.
Yes.
We had offerings, counseling services as well. We are mental health professionals, and we are doing both preventive and treatment. So we will teach you how to prevent. But for the ones who are already in problems, who need treatment, we also have treatment solutions. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Dr. Catherine, I really appreciate you coming this morning. And Winnie, a clinical psychologist, we really appreciate you coming this morning. Yes, we've been talking about parenting, and there's a noble training program there from Dr. Catherine Sengo and Winnie Kitetu. And they've been telling us more about parenting with the Nairobi Parenting Clinic here in Nairobi. And of course, we've been given the website there, www.nairobiparentingclinic.co.ke. You might want to visit that website to see what they do have for you there. I'll leave you the words of Abigail Van Baren, who says, if you want children to keep their feet on the ground, put some responsibility on their shoulders. Some responsibilities on their shoulders there. Think about that. A lovely quote by Abigail Van Baren. Thank you for your valued company. Have a lovely day.